Okay, are you recording it now?
No, but yeah, but don't worry about it. I wanted everybody's introduction recorded, but we'll have time to go back around. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. Andrea here. You're gonna have to unmute. Yes, Andrea. I'm gonna give everyone.
Hi.
Hello. How are you doing? And then we'll go back.
Excellent. Am I okay in terms of, I feel like I'm in slow motion and I was trying to switch over to my Mac, but you caught me right in the middle.
You're fine. You're fine.
I'm Andrea Arciga. Yeah, okay, so I'm Andrea Arciga. I'm with the Black Label Group. I own the Black Label Group. We are a real estate brokerage, but primarily we're real estate investors. We call ourselves investor brokers or investor agents because our primary job is investing, and sometimes it's not even a job. And we just happen to have licenses, or in my case, I happen to be a broker. I do take in I am an investor-centric brokerage, so I only take in agents that would not like to show houses and drive buyers around, and would instead either are already investors or would like to learn how to be primarily an investor. So that's what I do on the brokerage side. I am also educating people locally how to fix and flip, and doing a weekly Zoom along with on-site, hands-on, you're on the team on flips. And then I am building what's called the 90-Day Investor, and that will be premiering this summer. And that is kind of an intermediate and heading towards advanced version of real estate investing. Just it starts off with, it's mostly for people who have been in the real estate industry to really be able to catapult themselves into investing. Okay. And so that'll be available soon. Yeah.
All right, so I think you missed the first one. So what we're doing is that we're going to start with like your name, name of your company and what you're doing. And then we're going to be, once we kind of get around, then we'll be able to talk and chat. And then, because now you'll know who you want to talk to. We're also going to separate and chat. You'll know who you want to connect with. Make sure you put all your information in the chat box, so that you'll have it and so forth. But I definitely just want to know, like, basically just, you don't have a chance to say the whole thing. I want everyone to just get an idea first.
Well, honestly, that's what I'm doing right now, and during COVID is really building the infrastructure of the business and not just working on all my projects. But so that's really, and that was my takeaway for COVID is I'm closer to my children, who aren't children, they're all old. I'm divorced not too long ago, so I'm alone and enjoying building a business and getting to know myself again and my kids, and working on my business.
Hold on one second. Hold on. What we're doing now, we're going to come back around. What we're doing now is our first name, last name, and name of our business, what our business is, and then like a kind of one line about what we're doing, just so we can make the circle. And then some people have to leave, but then we'll be able to go back and talk more about what your projects you're working on and things like that. Sounds good?
I didn't get that from the other ladies. Okay, well, I'm good then. I'm good then.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Harriet. Hi, Harriet. How you doing? That's the first time I've seen Harriet. And Harriet, Jaelline is looking at you. She's happy to see you too. She hasn't seen you. How many years have you been? Hello.
And I see Carol there. Yeah.
Yes. So introduce yourself to everybody, what your name of your company is, what you're doing. And we were talking about how
my name is Harriet Cohen. The company is Training Solutions. And what I do is I work with individuals and businesses, taking them from where they are to where they want to be. I focus primarily on business foundations, business plans, marketing plans, target marketing, how to hire people, how to keep them, executive coaching, anything that is the core element that is going to keep a business sustainable and help it grow in the future.
Thank you. Thank you. So how long has it, when did you start with an Empowered Woman? Do you remember?
When did I start?
When did we, you were there
by 2006.
Oh my God.
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere
around there, 2005, no, 5, 6.
In 2006.
I don't remember. I do remember going to Brazil.
Our mission trips. We're going to talk about trips and all the events and things like that.
And then there was the business fast forward stuff that we did. I remember that.
You did a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. So Marilyn, introduce yourself. And we're going through our businesses and kind of a quick summary, and then we're going to go back and start talking.
Okay, good evening. Hello, everyone. My name is Marilyn Patterson James.
Hello.
My name of my business is A Miracle. I, as part of A Miracle, it has recently expanded to include development, working with housing developers of affordable housing. I work with local governments, public housing authorities, state governments, conduct trainings and technical assistance on the funding. And especially since there's quite a bit of CARES Act funding out there now, there's a need for technical assistance. I also do grant writing, which I've been doing for years, and working with nonprofits as well.
Awesome. So when's the last time you came to, or first time you came to Second Sundays? That's how we met, right? At Power Women?
Yes, Second Sundays. If my memory serves me correct, would 1999 be right?
No, not 19.
Maybe 2000,
Yeah, no.
somewhere around there.
2006 or 2007.
Yeah.
So very beginning as well. Wow. Fantastic.
It's been some time. It's good to see you. Always good to see you.
Thank you, thank you. And then there's Cindy. Oh no, there's somebody else that I wanted to, I say Cindy. That's why I want to make it around before some people have to leave. Some people have to leave. Cindy, you want to say hi?
I kind of quickly went at the very beginning, but my name is Cindy Coleman and my business is CJC Property Solutions. And basically I help investors and other people partner with them, and I help them grow their wealth by purchasing or acquiring first position non-performing notes. So it's an incredible place to be in right now. And you know, it is an area of real estate that's still bringing pretty high returns. So anyways, I'm excited and glad to be happy and part of the group.
Thank you, thank you. So I really want to do, again, my music that I plan to be playing is, my music box is, you still have to play around with it, it's not working, but I do want to take a moment, or can we do something? Well, I don't want to, all right, or just turn it from there. So I do want to do something like to say, I want everyone to get up and move for a minute, or say something, or say hi, and then we're going to talk about the different memories. I want to go back, like I want you to have a chance to talk. We're going to do chat rooms, so like Harriet and Jaelline can respond and talk and catch up, and Carol and all the rest of you. Because the whole objective, you know, really was for us to, when I was going through, as we were all supposed to be doing purging, I came across all these pictures, and I actually cleaned my garage last weekend, and I found like all the photographs and all the CDs, and I need to get them transferred of all the times that we spent together. And I said, gosh, I miss everybody, and we don't stay in touch. And especially now when people are transitioning their businesses and transitioning their lives, so many of you have moved, you know, like California, into different places. And it's just, and then there's literally been thousands and thousands of lives that we all shared and touched, you know, over the years. I mean, from the second Sundays, for those of you who are new to us, we used to have a second Sunday every second Sunday of the month except December. And for about 12 years, and we were never, I think we missed one twice since that. So every second Sunday we had different speakers. Maria was one of our speakers, Harriet was a speaker. Some of the ladies with Jaelline did our masterminds at our place. I mean, we did so many different events. We did it at the Mountain Gate Country Club. We did it at the Lufts Hotel. We did it at Yachts in the Marina Del Rey. Where we go. Who's on the second Sundays? Who came to the second Sundays? It's kind of just like, yeah, you're the second Sunday.
Yeah.
Which one did you come to? Which one did you remember, Brenda? Who was speaking? Do you remember which theme it was? We had different themes, like Yes You Can, and
well, I went to
takeovers, and
one that was at the Lux that was in Beverly Hills. I went to the one on Marina Del Rey on the boat, the country club. I think I made just about all of them.
And what about you, Harriet? Which second Sundays do you remember the most? Wait a minute, you're muted. Hold on a second. Let me unmute you.
Okay, I remember a lot of them. Loved the boat. Loved some of the other things we did. We did then there was the beauty one. Love that.
Makeovers, were those nice? I saw those, the holiday makeovers, where we would go to the ones and get made
over and all of that. And the speakers, you know, it's hard to it's hard to say, you know, which speakers stood out or anything, because there were so many that pulled at your heartstrings or taught you something. And that made the biggest, you know, that made the biggest difference. But I think for me, with the second Sundays and all the stuff that we did, was the idea of the camaraderie, of getting to meet people, new and different people, and many of whom I'm still in touch with. I mean, I could give you a list, Desiree, if, you know, of people that I met at Second Sunday that I'm still connected to on Facebook, or I see in person, or whatever. And Jaelline and I are still together on Facebook, and Carol and I are still together on Facebook, and, you know, different connections. And somebody that you may remember is Jody Cooley.
Oh, I missed her. I saw her on pictures. I love her. How's she doing?
You know, and
How's she doing?
She's doing great. And I mean, there are so many other people. Ani Papazian, I still see a lot of. And, you know, all of these different people that I connected with through, you know, through the Second Sundays or the yacht or the beauty thing or whatever. Yeah.
So what do you remember? And we're going to go through. But it's just nice to hear some of the things that you still are close to your heart. Jaelline, what do you remember? Or Carol, what do you remember? The second Sundays.
I went to a number of them.
A lot of them.
A lot of them over the years. At Mountain Gate, at the Lux. I was on the boat. The makeover, the holiday makeover. I ended up with a photo that was my professional headshot for a long time. That came out of that one. And then we did the mastermind at my office for a while. That was great. I'm still in touch with a few people and in different ways. Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. And then what about you, Carol? You came to a lot of our second Sundays.
There was one that you had with Michelle Anton that was really good. I've been to many of the ones at the Lux Hotel and the makeovers. So
that's interesting.
The Power of Seven, of course.
The Power of Seven. Some other Power of Sevens. Bobbie, you're Power of Seven, and it's still a group. You're Power of Seven. What do you remember? Who was in your class? Do you remember? Bobbie?
Yeah, I had Patty Hedrick, who I made a lifetime friend of, and Sophia Agres. And I don't remember who the other person is.
And so then what, Jennifer, who's on your Power 7? Do you remember? Oh, you did a private one though, didn't you? You did it at Dr. Gail Jackson's house. Yes? We can't hear you, hold on. There you go.
I was, I helped you out with a couple of them too, just so I could be involved more.
That's right.
But yeah, we did privates too. Because mine was so specialized with the entertainment business.
That was nice though. It was a great thing. What about still a group? You guys did the Power 7, and Bobbie, you did the Power 7. What do you remember about the Power 7? Reminiscing, going down, and then
we had Kimley and we had Vicky Scatini. Matter of fact, Sarah just spoke to Kimley earlier this evening, and then
today she's supposed to have been here.
But you spoke to her today as well?
Yesterday.
Oh, yesterday, yeah. So she just spoke to her, and I think the overall experience was just great. I remember Sarah and I being completely unprepared to do the live videos, and so it was a fun time, and you know, and like I said, we got to meet so many people, and you know, we're still in touch with a few of them today. So you know, we hadn't seen you in a few months, and thank goodness for the text messaging, because sometimes you miss all the emails, and the text messages was like, oh, wait a minute, this is happening, we have to attend. So thank you for that follow-up.
You're welcome.
Elisha, I actually tried to leave you a message, but your voicemail isn't set up. So that's why I texted you.
Oh, you did? Oh, my little one has my phone right now. Okay. I'm going to take a look. Thank you.
Bobbie, thanks, Carol. Bobbie.
Well, I was at Dr. Gail Jackson's house as well. And I was with all the doctors, and Dr. Sherry Peace was in the class. I'm trying to think who else. And it was a long time ago because my hair was really short, and I don't even remember what year it was. But Dr. Gail and I have been, you know, like this since the Empowered Woman Second Sundays. I met Crystal Marati, now Oculi. She and I have been like this. I mean, all of my strategic partners I made in those first few years before I left the corporate world at that. And I'm happy to report, it must be 10 years since I did Power of Seven. I'm finally doing all the things that I learned. Took me a little while, I'm gonna admit, a little while, but
don't worry, Bobbie. Sarah and I are in the same boat. We're getting there.
yeah, well, today I just put out on all my social media, I put out my 24th video in a row of dressing for the day you want, not the one you're given. So if you want to have some fun, go look me up on social media because it has been my journey through this.
That's funny.
Desiree, you've got to tell them how Power of Seven started.
How did it start?
Palm Springs.
I don't remember. How did it start?
You and I were in Palm Springs for a few days.
No.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That's when Power of Seven started.
So, okay. All I remember, somebody's trying to get in. Do you see it in the chat? Carol, someone said something about they're out, but they can't get back in or something. I'm just checking. Can you see that?
Sweetie, I don't have any controls here because you haven't given me co-host capability.
Okay, how do I give you controls then? How's that?
Go to participants.
Okay, because you're supposed to do the chat and everything. Okay, and then what? And then
you should be able to give me, click on the more.
Okay. And then?
You should be able to give me host capability.
I don't say, I said enable waiting room, lock meeting, allow participants, play, enter chimes, allow participants, mute. Maybe I should go under participants. Okay, hold on. Sorry about that.
I sent you a private message earlier.
I'm sorry, but we were preparing and starting to set up. Okay, so, all right, so it's not coming under the more on participants. So it would be under, anybody else know where we're finding it? Have you ever did it? Have you ever given it?
It should be. You might not have it set up in your settings to give somebody hosting permissions.
The chat rooms, I want to do the chat rooms, and how am I going to do the breakout rooms? Breakout rooms. I know.
Did you go to the participants list, Desiree?
Yeah, I did go to the participants list.
It doesn't give you.
It gives me more, but it says yes, no, go slower, go faster, more, another more.
Click on over next to my name where it says more.
Okay, let's see. Yes, and then make a host. Oh, make a co-host?
There you go.
Oh, okay. Detail. There we go. Okay, sorry. So you got it? Okay, so Harriet, the only thing I remember about that, what am I going to say? Do you know?
Oh, I know.
Okay. All right, say it. This is the funniest thing. And everyone will be able to relate too that's worked with me.
Oh yeah, because we're sitting there working away and I said, okay, I'm ready to eat. You can't eat until you finish this section. You can't have food until you do this. I mean, she was a taskmaster like you wouldn't believe. But that was the beginning of Power of Seven. I was the guinea pig.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. Well, the funny part is that you sent me a letter, an email or something like that. And she says like, can we eat now? It's like, oh, you want
Yes, that's what I had to do because you wouldn't listen to me.
Like, well, we were
so I kept emailing you, can we have dinner now or whatever it was. Oh yeah.
I never forget that. I was very involved in you. So
yes, you were.
The very first Power of Seven. That's funny. And then after we started doing it, I started doing it as a group.
Yeah.
You still like that, ladies and gentlemen. It's like a boot camp, and you're staying there, so you have to just wait for her to be hungry, I guess. I brought my snacks the second time, ladies.
She did. She came with all these groceries. I said, "What do you need that for?" She says,
Because I want to eat more than salmon and kale. That's why.
"Oh,
Girl, I'm a big girl. I gotta eat.
well, it's that." So, Brenda, which ones do you remember? What experiences do you remember?
Okay, so I did the group, one of the first Power Sevens that you did, and then I did one at Dr. Gail Jackson's house.
Wow.
And unfortunately, I have not done anything with either of them. But I remember so clearly because we went downstairs to the basement to record the radio shows. And I remember crying through the whole thing because we were talking about the passage of the marriage for the gay and lesbians. And I was telling you about my best friend who was gay and that he couldn't get married. And I just started bawling through that whole interview. What is wrong with you? And then shortly after that, I went to Dr. Gail and got the hormone shots.
Oh my goodness.
So that was what the problem was.
Hormones. Wow, that's amazing. So was the first time in the Simi Valley? Seven, the first time?
No, it was, it seems like it may have been at the Lux Hotel. I don't remember.
Okay, all right. I know, I remember for Maria, I remember the video that we did because to this day, I still see that one line that she always used. Do you remember which line it was?
Well, one of my favorites is the money hasn't left the planet. Is that it? Money loves clarity and the money hasn't left the planet.
I just sent out an email yesterday and it has the same thing. The money has not left the planet.
Yeah. I just did something with Doria. Did you see? DC has been using that quite a bit. Yeah, that's really it. It's really appropriate now. But that is my thing. I know I've been talking about it more and more. So I have to, I was also thinking. I remember I never got to go to the Polo Grounds, and I never got to do one of your makeover programs. So those are two things I never got to do, and I was like, oh, I always wanted to do that.
The makeovers, the holiday makeovers, we go to Paul Mitchell salons or go to places and get a makeover. We bring hair and makeup, and we bring fashion there. We'd have a little fashion show, and we'd have photographers taking our pictures. So it was really fun. So do you ladies want to go in some breakout rooms and talk to each other? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes.
I can't. I would love to, but I have to leave.
I have to leave as well. Thank you guys. I've never met any of you. I hope I get to see you again sometime soon.
Put your name in the chat. Put your name in the chat and then make sure that you can get a copy of it. That way you'll have people's contact number.
Well, thanks for your Power of 7. I'm a busy lady now and teaching, and I have a training at 6. And thanks so much, Desiree. I just want to shout out your Power of 7 because it was very powerful.
Thank you. Well, she's going to.
I'm doing so much.
Soon. She's launching. She's at her show, her meetup, and her magazine's launch soon. She's going to do a digital magazine, so we're going to wait for that.
Yeah. All your idea, boss lady. Thank you.
I see you.
Okay, where's the chat to add any information?
On the bottom, there's between participants or
orange. Is it orange?
There's a chat bubble down at the bottom.
I'm not seeing it right now.
Could be up at the top. Just run your cursor.
Yeah, it could be anywhere.
Desiree, are you in Malibu? Where are you, Desiree?
I'm in San Diego.
You are in City. Okay.
I'm Rancho Santa Fe.
I'm sorry, ladies. I'm trying to help Harriet here.
Sure.
Try and run your cursor along the bottom or the top.
Yeah, I had it, and then it just went to something else. That's what happens when you use the iPad. Okay, where's more? I got it.
Okay.
Good. I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetie.
Harriet was one of our first business coaches. And so she's the one that helped us put our first business plan together. She tried to get me to put the P&Ls together.
Yeah, try is the operative word.
She tried to get us organized a long time ago. So it's just like so good to see you. And I miss you. And please, let's stay in touch.
I do too.
Okay.
Good to see you and hear you too.
All right, stay in touch. Say bye to the ladies. And what's empowering thoughts like to leave them with? You remember this saying? What empowering thoughts like to leave our listeners with today? We did all the podcasts. We did all those videos.
Okay, I'll leave you with this thought on the chat.
Okay.
Or do you want me to say it now? If you're not afraid, you're not risking enough.
Okay. All right.
That's number one. Okay. So you got to risk in order to move forward.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love
Okay.
you.
I'll put it on there.
Hi, Harriet. Good seeing you.
Okay.
Good to see all of you too.
So the other ladies, so do you want to do a chat room or do you want to do an individual chat? So you just want to chat here out loud and talk?
We could.
Yeah,
There's
but
only
Same fine
12 of us.
here.
I'm fine.
7 minutes. Put here.
okay, fine. I'm fine too.
I'm gonna have to
Bye,
go.
Harriet.
So Jaelline, though, then share a couple more things with the ladies. It's like one other memory and one empowering thought before you leave. And what in your life that you're doing that you're amazed about or fantastic or Jaelline, because she said that she had to
Okay.
Oh, Harriet, you want to listen to what Jaelline has to say? She's had something really
Harriet was a coach for me
coach
for some time. Yeah.
Harriet's a great coach.
Let's see. I don't know. I'm so right. I mean, because I just moved in and I'm everything's all over the place. I've discovered that I have far too much stuff. Far too much. You're talking about purging and especially paper. Oh my God. Yeah, that would be.
I remember the second Sunday. Yes.
Pardon?
I'm sorry.
What did you say?
No, I was trying to jolt your memory. It's one of the second Sundays, or just something you want to share with us, and then before you leave us.
Well, the speakers, when we did them, when you were doing them up at Mountain Gate in particular, I remember there were some outstanding, inspiring, heart, touching heart speakers, powerful people. Some of the best people were your speakers, and they were really amazing. Let's see, a parting thought, since I'm a therapist and I'm working with a lot of people who are experiencing high levels of anxiety right now, I would say as much as possible, stay in the present, because anxiety is a thinking disorder that has to do with the future, where you go into this, oh my God, what if this happens? And what if that happens? And it's hard enough dealing with what's actually happening. So stay with the present and stay with the positive, because there have been lots of positives from this. And when you notice that you're going off into the future and getting caught into the what ifs and their negative what ifs, change them to a positive what if. What if what if a good thing happens from this?
Great.
Thank you. So you know what? We're talking about the holiday makeovers. We usually do them in November. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna plant a seed. If everything clears up by November, maybe we should have a holiday makeover.
Oh, that was so much fun.
Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should, because we're all gonna be ready to get our hair done for sure.
God, yeah.
Well, we haven't done it for them, but we're ready to get, it would be fun, because that's one of our fun events. So that'd be great. Awesome. Well, thank you, Jaelline. Take care. Love you.
I'm gonna put in whatever it was you wanted us to put in. All right.
I have to go too.
So Jennifer, tell us, but you're doing some fantastic things. So tell us what you've been doing. You told me about you doing these events and you did so just before you.
Yeah. Well, with me and you, we were originally talking about this community I wanted to start, and I'd called it Hollywood Helper at the time. When I moved to Austin, I was trying to connect with the entertainment business out here. And the same ideas from Hollywood Helper transcended into a group, which I simply called Austin Entertainment Business, emphasizing the business of entertainment. And it was based upon how to actually network and make solid relationships with people And the guest speakers were people I want to meet, or have access to. And so I got up on stage, or I got a venue to host the event, got up on stage, just spilled my heart out of anything I've learned in hardships and this and that. And then I interviewed guest speakers, and the first event, over 100 people showed up, and it's been going strong for 2 years now. And it's got an outreach of over 15,000. And I just held a Zoom with 180 people on it. I gave everybody 4 days notice, and it's a free group for people. And I thought about monetizing it at certain points, but it's given back to me so much. I think I've gotten 90% of my jobs through the group, because I've made myself such a presence in the community by helping people get jobs and connect with each other. It's actually helped me as well. So anyways, that's what I'm up to. And that's been my sort of grounding group, and I've made some great friends and relationships out of it.
So that's when we talk about events, ladies. Remember, we've talked about events in the Power of Seven. So what she's done is she's actually, she's doing the event, and how she structured the event, and how she says it's for free. So it's not even for a fee, but just for free. But how it brings you those connections, those joint ventures, those partnerships. Could we have sponsors, affiliates, that type. So
what I have done, though, is I've had volunteers on every single event. It started with just my sister and boyfriend, and then merged into real volunteers, checking people in every time they come to the event. So there's a sign in, and we've gotten more and more advanced as it's gone on, and with the RSVPs. So I've kept lists and emails and what their title is, and so on and so on. So I did hire the wealthy bag lady for sponsorship. So we've gone back and forth for a year on trying to develop this out. And to be honest, I just haven't had the time to really execute it. And I'm trying to find some other people but I've got the deck, and I've got all the legwork. So I'm, at some point it's getting ready, because we've got all the numbers and the stats.
Wow, you're an influencer. You're really a big influencer now. And that's what you wanted to do. That's what you wanted to be. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. So it turns out, I have found out, when people come to Austin and they're interested in the entertainment business, I'm one of the first names that comes up in conversation.
Nice.
Which is like
How often do you do these events? Like once a month?
It's been once a month for the past 2 years. Sometimes it was even twice a month. The W Hotel hosts me now, until COVID broke out. And so now I spent 2 days learning Zoom, and it's a little clunky, but we made it through it. And we're kind of just figuring out the next steps now.
And so the hotel will charge you, or are you doing it?
No, they give me the whole bottom floor lounge area of the Austin Hotel in Austin for free, and I fill it up. So there's two bars and 4 lounges that I fill up, and they give it all to me. And they post signage and print it out for me and say, "Welcome, Austin entertainment business."
Wow. Well, exactly. That's exactly when we talk about doing different events at different places, and I'm not having to actually even pay for it. This is a perfect example. For them, it's all the business, the bars. We used to do it the one in Westwood. We used to do it at the W Hotel there, and they would just get the bar. We have a special drink, and have a special Empower Women drink where it was pink and this and that, and special prices, happy hour prices, and we did it there. So that's amazing. That's great. So it's like consistency, building that community. And do you have speakers? Do you have speakers on it?
Yeah. So I get a really high profile guest speaker that people want to see. So that draws in the crowd. And when I got the venue also, I had wrote a letter, and I explained to the W that my clientele was higher end people, because we talk higher end conversations. And so it matches their clientele. I made it all about them and why this was a good benefit for them to have this sort of event. And so actually, I always give them a big thank you at the event, and I make it about them. And when I don't throw an event, there was like 2 months that went by, they contacted me and they said, "Are you going to throw another event? Like we're ready." But yeah, so it's been good. Oh, they have their people build a stage for me and put chairs and move the whole room around, all complimentary, which would normally cost $10,000 if you were to do it in the room we do it.
And it's a beautiful hotel.
Jennifer, you're in such a cool place. It's such a crossroads now of entertainment, technology. Being in entertainment myself, I know we're always drawn to Austin. There's a lot of talent there, and
There is.
if I can connect, if I can help you get connected to different people or opportunities.
Yeah, I side chatted Maria. I'm like, let's talk more about this film investment
Let's talk.
stuff.
And so we have Maya. Maya, I haven't seen you in a while. I just want to say hi to Maya and hi to Kimmy. Thank you, Jennifer, but don't say as long as you can. Maya, Kimmy.
I got to go to my 4-year-old. I promised her we'd play before it gets dark.
Right.
Bye.
Stay in touch. Thank you.
Okay. Good to see you.
Hi, Maya. Our travel agent. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Wait a minute. I can't hear you. Hold on 1 second. All right, I'm sorry. There you go. Why is it not good?
She has to unmute. There she goes.
There you go. Okay.
You know what? I'm all day long from one conference to another. So I was like so overwhelmed. But it's all good. All
How
good.
are you doing? Everyone's so busy. And I hear people say that they're bored. It's like, I don't know many people that are bored. Everyone I know
No.
is busy.
I want to tell you one thing, that thanks to you, I am one of the very little travel agents that survive the corona. And you ask me why, because the mastermind, you know, the master program, the Power of Seven, it works so wonderful because the Zoom and all the other things that I did, now it's pay off. So thank you for that, because every single day, last month and this month, I'm just thinking of you because your program is amazing. And I think after all the corona, I'm going to begin to make a retreat with your program because every woman should know how to do it.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. Well, I remember.
Because, you know, in March, like the first week of March, all business collapsed because everyone canceled their travel. Everyone. They didn't know what's happening. So I was on day and night getting calls, want to cancel, we want refund, we want cancel, we want refund, we want cancel, we want refund. I was like, oh my God, it was nightmare. But then, because nobody understood what happened, and then even we had like 17 groups, everyone canceled. And they did not want even future credit. They were like panic. I said, okay, let's not make any decision. Let's wait. And then now everyone, after like 2 months in quarantine, everyone is calling this week. Everyone is calling me, May, we want to get out, where we can do, what we can do, and all this. But during this 2 months, with all the hassle, I hired somebody that all what she does, social media, social media, social media. And now it's paying off. All the social media, all the things, the newsletter, everything is paying off. So thank you.
Wow, wow. Well, Maya does a lot of very, very, very high-end travel. So anyone wants to put your information in the chat, Maya. So anyone who wants to travel, because she even organized my 60th birthday cruise. Well, no, was it 60th? Yeah, no, was it 60th?
You are 25. How could you say 60? Your 25 years anniversary, birthday.
When it was? When was it?
Yeah, it was.
What year was it? How old was it?
We don't talk about age. You don't. Talk about
Anyway,
age.
it wasn't that long.
You look younger. You look younger.
Okay, well, thank you. But it was a while ago, and it was just great.
It's only 4 years ago. 4 years ago.
60th then. Okay, 60th. Yes. Well, that's awesome. Well, she helped that. So if he wants to do a cruise or he wants to go travel anywhere, make sure you get her information because.
Actually, I'll tell you something, like, because we are in conference all day long with the cruise line, the tour line, the airline, everyone. I think it's business will never go back to the old way.
Yeah, I think we agree to that.
Never. Like, I know my cousin, he owns 6 shopping centers. He's going in a big trouble because 90% of the businesses went out of business. And even like one of them is big business name. I don't want to say the name, but it's like they are going out of business. And it's very interesting because a lot of people, like travel agents even, nobody wants to go back to the office because we manage from home. So I think home business, home office is going to be big in the next era. It's going to be big.
HomWork is going to be big too. If you don't want to work from home, you can work from HomWork. It's a live, work, share.
Yeah, it's going to be big. Everyone will work from home. And then now, like I have, I just restructured my business in this 2 months with all what's happening, but I began to restructure my business. And now I'm specialized because I love wine, I love food, and yet, so now I'm beginning a tour of only between 10 people, maximum 15 people, not more. So we are arranging tours to Israel, dine and wine and dine the Bible land. And what it is, we will have a bus of 55 buses, so everyone will be distanced from each other. And hotels that I'm making agreement with, they will have 3 days after you leave the hotel, nobody can check into your room for 3 days. So they sanitize it, they like doing, a lot of hotels, the high end is doing that to protect the customer. So we are trying to do that you can enjoy travel, but not to jeopardize your life. So like one of financial advisor, she contacted me and she wants me to do a retreat. She wants to do a retreat for her like weekend, and she wants only 10 people, and it will be women thing. So I think a lot of people, they're going to think about a retreat, but the retreat still is spacious, like space between everyone and things like that. So we're not going to be jammed anymore.
It'll be different. I want to say hi to Kimberly and Lila and Patty. So just like introduce yourself and just tell us quickly what you do. And then we're going to go back around and talk about all the things that we're doing in more detail.
Sure, I can jump in. Hi.
Yes. How are you?
I'm good. So I'm Lila Feingold. How are you? I'm down in Orange County, and I met Desiree probably a decade ago at some amazing events and parties, and I've been following your amazing success for so long, and I finally got a chance to jump on because I've been a real estate broker for 17 years, and I started in San Gabriel Valley in LA County, and I've relocated down to Orange County. Raised a couple of kids, and now they're in college. So it's been crazy. But yeah, reinvented myself in Orange County. I ran a team of 7 in LA County, and then now in Orange County, I've got a smaller team, but yeah, I do a lot of work in trust and probate, but a little bit of commercial, triple net shopping centers, multifamily apartments, a little automotive, but mostly residential. We've got a crazy environment. So we are also in a new normal, and our world's changing, doing everything virtually now. And it's really an informational stage, you know, to really take care of our clients and really educate about COVID and all of the guidelines and the rules and regulations. I'm with Berkshire Hathaway, even though I have my broker's license, but I kind of lay low a little more. So I'm a broker associate with Berkshire Hathaway, and they have me doing a little bit of corporate training and things for some of our agents. We have 7 locations, about 250 agents. But there's a lot of changes and rules and regulations and guidelines. There's the fear and the interest rate and the what ifs and everything. And we don't have enough data yet in real estate to know exactly where our market is headed or not until we open up. You know, this is so uncharted waters. Because I've been in 3 short sale foreclosure markets, I really know that type of you know, transaction and challenges of families, and I hope and pray we don't see some of that. But you know, we're open-minded, and it's all about creativity, flexibility, and really taking care of our customers right now. We don't know what's going to happen, but I'm online virtually, and you know, I'm still, you know, my kids are millennials, so they're kind of helping me because I'm not the best at technology. But I really need to do some more Zoom educational and informative meetings and stuff, so I could use some help. I know you ladies are probably rock stars at Zoom meetings and things. I listen in on all of our informational meetings, but I need to start hosting them. I have a lot of information to share. I'm just not, you know, I got to get going on the technology side of it. So when I do, I'll launch, and maybe you girls can click in if you like. Nice to meet you all.
Okay. All right, Patty D. Dominic. Where'd you get that background from? Patty, the other one, the one that
you mean the cat lady one? Oh, yeah, I just did that because Lila said she wanted to get better at Zoom, and this is a trick I just learned 2 weeks ago about how to.
That's what I need. I had a white chair earlier and they thought I was sitting on the toilet. So I'm like, oh shoot, I better change my chair.
Well, Carol knows how to do it. I see Carol knows how to do it. Yeah.
I've seen the backgrounds. I haven't seen the one with the cat lady chair. So is that they have that in the background, or is that what your custom?
No, I pulled that off of Facebook. You know, you can upload any photograph, and yeah, you can upload any photograph. So just be careful, you know, what you upload, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. Now you're in the aisle.
So do you want to take a second? I'm a business coach. I teach you how to do good things, but I can also teach you how to do a cool background. So just take 1 second for me to show you how to do it if you want me to show you how to do it.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, hover your mouse towards the left-hand corner see where it says stop video? There's a little arrow. The left-hand corner of your screen, hover your mouse. Click that little arrow just to the right of the thing that says stop video.
Choose virtual background.
Yep, you see it? Choose virtual background, click that. And now I pay for Zoom. I don't know if you're on free version, I'm not sure if it has the same thing, but the Hawaii scene, which is behind me at the moment, was came standard. And then I uploaded the crazy cat lady picture. It was such a cute, funny picture that I just said that sounds good. I'm on so many serious meetings right now that it's so nice to do something. Yeah, good, Lila. See, you learned something new. Okay, great. So I coach.
The funny thing is, I went into one meeting and everybody had the same background. It was the pool background, and it's like 4 or 5 people there. So you all be at the same house. You know?
Yeah, isn't that funny? Yeah.
Near the same bridge. Yeah, that's people are gonna get used to that and they can do it. So I thought that when I saw the Hawaii scene, Patty and I were just in Hawaii in November. Yes. Tell them what you do with the
and I want to say hi to Bobbie, and look at how are you so dressed so beautifully. Is that a green and yellow top you have on, or is that the screen also doing something special with you?
It's the screen. Hi, Patty.
Hi. Oh, because you look like a green screen. That's why it's doing that. Okay. And then, oh, by the way, one last thing about those virtual backgrounds. Unless you have a green screen, be careful. Do not check, I have a green screen. Just leave it off. I just a little bit better. So it's kind of cool. So my clients are $5 to $80 million a year entrepreneurial companies for the most part. I have a few nonprofit organizations that I also coach, the Cancer Center of Santa Barbara, and I've coached the Superior Courts for the County of Santa Barbara as well. And I learned my craft after having been an entrepreneur for 27 years, built a couple of companies, bought and sold my companies. In 2006 is when I sold my 2 big companies, CT Engineering and PDQ Personnel. So I used to be an expert on hiring. I still am pretty good on it. And I advise a lot of entrepreneurs about how to hire or how to recruit their advisory board, and then how to leverage that. And I work on retainer, and I have 30 clients right now. I really love what I do, but I actually would like a few less clients. So instead of, doing more things with more small business, my goal would be to, instead of work 3 days a week, which is what I currently work, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I'm booked solid from 10 until 6 almost every night. My goal for 2021 will be to only work 2 days a week. So instead of working 5 days a week and having 2 days off, I'm going to work 2 days a week and have 5 days off. That's my life plan. So.
Well, you can do that. I know you can do that. You can do that. Also spoke to us quite a few times on our Let's Talk Success. We did a filming at her house in Santa Barbara, and Bobbie was our stylist for that event. Patty's done many of the podcasts. She also
you can tell I need a stylist today.
Patty's offering a complimentary consult. Is that what it is, Patty? Bobbie, share with Patty and everybody else that came on the line recently.
Yeah, I'm, you know, we all have to show up in these little cubes now, so you need a waist-up outfit. So I'm willing to help everybody get it together.
I'm hearing pants
We're
are
going
optional.
to do a complimentary consult with them, and they contact you. You're going to have the information in the chat. Just kind of tell them how they can take advantage of that.
Yeah, well, just Bobbie@fashionablywealthy.com and just say I'm in.
All right, send your name. You put the information in the chat already, so if they get the top of the chat, then they can do that. And so just contact her, and then let her. Then she'll look in your closet. So you can go. It's done virtually, so you can go to your closet and say, "What about this? What about that?" I know we're all purging our closets now. Yes, no, maybe so. We're supposed to. We wanted to. Anyway, so Kimley, say hi, and then we're going to go and see what else. I'll tell you what else is happening.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm trying this background. So I figure I tried the bridge.
The only problem with the background, so is that if you move around a lot, right, you can see it moves your hair. Is that correct? Does everyone else see that, or is it just me? Yeah.
Is that what is happening? I'm like, I didn't know if that was just me. I'm like, why is half my face disappearing? Do I need to scoot forward or backwards? Which one is it? It's like it's blowing in the wind. I like pretend I'm outside. It's blowing in the wind. Anyway, if it's too distracting, I can take that off. But anyway, my name is Kimley Neller. I am here in Detroit, Michigan, and I am a licensed builder. So I build homes, rehab, and remodel. I'm a fix and flipper. That's been my hobby or passion for the last 20 years. As a profession, I am a marketing coach, and so I do a lot of marketing development, business strategies for small businesses, using my background from corporate. And my other passion is supporting women, empowering us to know the empowerment that happens through sisterhood. So I have an organization that's 12 years old called Positive Sisters, and Sisters is an acronym. Self-improvement simply takes education, redevelopment, and sincerity, and we help women transition or build a life of their dreams. So it's kind of blended being a life builder and a STEAM builder together. So my mantra is building structures and building lives. I met Desiree, I guess, in 2019, the early part of 2019, February, so a little over a year. Did the Power 7, was part of a real estate investment goddess group that she spoke at, and we connected. So I'm very excited that I have this opportunity to meet more of you ladies. I came on a little late because as I was getting beautified, I spilled some makeup stuff, all of the liquid makeup, just, I don't know what happened. It just slipped out of my hand. It was all over everywhere. And so I had to get it off my beautiful blue wall so it wouldn't stain. So that's why I was late joining. But I'm glad I'm here and see a few faces I remember meeting. I remember meeting Bobbie once before. I think the Stiller group got off for the smart children. So it's nice meeting you ladies. And if there's anything I can support you with, I will gladly share my information. If you're thinking of remodeling and you want some questions answered regarding contractors, is this a good deal? Is what I need to do? I will gladly support you, as well as we often host different workshops, group coaching sessions, and so I will share that information. I have a website you can go and sign up and get our newsletters and be abreast of all the things. We're going to do a rollout next month for Mother's Day. We typically do a fashion show, so I'm taking your advice, Desiree. I'm going to do a virtual fashion show. You know, we do a lot of fashion shows this time, so the models will be all on, and you can join in and watch us all fashionably share our wardrobes and our styles and just have a little fun with that, something we're not able to do in a live meetup. We usually do it every April. So our little spring gardens, spring fashions in the gardens. So
nice.
Let's take it to the virtual screen.
Thank you. Well, thank you. Well, I mean, aren't we glad at least we know about this? Patty, the other ladies were sharing how long we've known each other. Do you remember how long we've known each other, Patty, and where we first met or how we first connected?
I don't remember. I mean, I had you in my Rolodex from like women in real estate, like maybe 25 years ago. I'm not sure, Desiree. First of all, we're probably not old enough to have known each other for 25 years, but do you remember where we met? I don't, but I do remember that when I reconnected with you, when you had an empowered woman, I'm like, wait, what about that real estate thing that you guys were doing 10 years earlier?
Yeah, so I was in real estate, and then we got into Power Woman, and from Power Woman and back into real estate with the combination of the Power Woman and real estate, which is HomWork. So we're doing for HomWork. But I want to, they were sharing different experiences, and I really want to, again, see you to share some other things that you've done or you've seen people do, and just it's a time to kind of go back through memory lane, because now it's so important for us to have that as our baseline or the good that we're going to take forward through this. I know this is a journey for some of us, whether it's making us either busier or crazy busy or not, or we've taken big losses and big step backs because of it, but we know that it's a journey. And the blessing is that many of us have gone through it before, those who were involved in 2008 in real estate and times like that. And we know that they say that all these entrepreneurs and all these great businesses, and we know that even now the last one, that between the Ubers and the Airbnbs, all that came out of, a situation. And so I think that we have to just really keep that in mind, the blessings that, we can come out of that. And just look at it as not necessarily something that happened. It happened, and that's a reality, but it's brought us to a blessing. And if we can take away the blessings, then it just will accelerate us even going through faster. We'll be able to accelerate much faster. Like right now is just a time to really allow some time to clean and purge and go through things like to the pictures, because that brought me here to us today. So to me, that's the blessing of going through that, just those boxes and those pictures that need to be done. Take time to learn. There's a lot of education, a lot of things around that we need to refine. So get those gifts and get that information so you can take it forward with you. But also I look at it the fact that, now that I'm not going to all these network meetings and second Sundays or different events, I'm saving like 4 or 5 hours a day, so most days in transporting. Otherwise we'd be getting dressed and we'd be heading out somewhere and doing something and coming back in. And I said, so now I just kind of feel like I've gained 4 or 5 hours a day. It doesn't feel like it, but I guess realize we have gained it. So what are you doing with that? We're talking about the online, a lot of you have taken the Power 7, so we have the online, building your online course, building your online programs, building, just everybody has some expertise. All of you are geniuses. All of you have genius. And I've said that to you millions of times, so this is not the first time you've heard me say that. And just taking that now and capsulizing. Can you imagine if you had an online, going really big? Tomorrow night, we're relaunching our Let's Talk Success program, and Patty has done our Let's Talk Success in her home for our magazine, our digital magazine. She was the first magazine that we did. She's done our podcast, and she also came here and ran to Santa Fe and did a mastermind dinner where women have built $1 million businesses, share their stories, challenges, victories, and secrets to success. So tomorrow evening on Friday, just put it on top of if you haven't got an email, please check it. We're launching that again virtually. And every Friday this month, we'll be introducing a woman that has built multi-million-dollar business. Tomorrow, we're interviewing Sarah Davis, and she has a business called Fashion File. And she's local here in Carlsbad, and her business last year revenued $200 million. I had made a mistake and put 20 million, and she emailed me today. Her team even says there's 200 million. Add another 0 to that. It's the online business of accessories, of like pocketbooks and all the designer labels. And it's pre-owned. It's consignment. It's not consignment. They buy it from you, and then they resell it. And they partnered just recently with Neiman Marcus. I'm like, how amazing is that? Just in a matter of few years, she was a graduate student. She started selling things from her clothes. You need to raise some money. So they say that again and again. That is like just selling some. She's not having to buy the merchandise. It's not that she's buying the merchandise and selling it or making the merchandise and selling it. She is paying you for the merchandise. And I even tried it out myself, because in my cleaning, I found some Louis Vuitton stuff that I know that I'll never carry those suitcases again. Everything is a roll-on now. So I had all these suitcases and so forth. So I said, let me check it out, see how it works. And I actually went on, so I contacted them and we did it online. And I showed them my articles, my bags and stuff, and showed the inside, outside. Some they accepted, some they didn't, because some of them were nicely used. And I think had Federal Express come pick it up for free. They take it away, and then they actually process it, and then they send you the money in a check. So that's her business. That's $200 million this year. So I'm saying that for the same thing, is that you ladies can do it too. And I'm saying it to myself because I'm guilty of it. I had programs before and I got so busy in the busyness of doing the second Sundays or the live events, we let it go. And it's like, if I had all these programs and all these people speakers and all these things that we've been exposed to, if you had that capsulized some kind of way and selling it, you'd have that online cash. And not that, even if we didn't need it, it'd be nice to have it to be able to donate to a certain charity that we wanted to support. So some people say, well, I really don't need the money and so forth. That's great, that's fine. That's wonderful, actually. But maybe there's a charity or somebody else that you can support with that. Because I know some of our ladies, they sell the things and all that money goes to a certain charity, like Battered Woman's a Battered Woman. All she makes goes to a battered woman because she was a battered woman herself. So that's how she's giving back. So, but the opportunities are there and it's being done every day, and so I really, we touched so many people along the way. I realized I touched so many women and heard your stories and knew you and just touched and hugged and all that good stuff for all these years. We're talking about over a decade, ladies, that, we've been connected, and that's a long time. And I just really want to see this same successes for you as we see, like what Jennifer was talking about her success. And there's a lot of other ladies that I talk to that have that success. It is possible and it's there. And you just need to stay connected and stay connected. And if some of you who took the Power of 7, it doesn't have to be 10 years, come back. I can do privates, I can do refreshing courses. I'm doing that for the ladies. It's kind of the things that you think you want to do, whether it's in the podcast series or whatever it is that you think you want to do, being able to dive in and help you with that because you can do it, it's being done. And after this pandemic, people are going to come out here flying. I already talked to some ladies that are going to explode with their businesses. And it can be you can be doing that, especially with all the talent, Patty, that's what she does with businesses. She takes you, even though she says that $5 million mark, and so forth, but I've seen her take businesses and just like roll them really out. And there's so much talent on this line. A lot of you are in real estate, which is amazing. I didn't realize that. I don't think at that time some of us were in real estate, but that's only one asset class. But between the fashion and between the travel and between, the coaching and all that good stuff, there's so much out there. And I think the only thing that I remember from Empowered Woman is that it was really a sisterhood. We hugged every time we saw each other. We got dressed, we were happy. It was like a moment of, in our worlds, our private worlds, where we were working and pushing our dreams forward, that we were able to go and connect and laugh and be pretty and be sassy and listen to inspiring speakers. And we use all the different mediums. We use the live events, we use the podcasts, we use the videos. Those of you who went to TV shows, those of you that, all those things we did, it was all about uplifting women and supporting women. And we can still do that together. And I just, I want you not to forget that, not to forget the impact that you've made on me, but you also made impacts on a lot of other ladies. Like all the time about, oh, I remember so-and-so, she did this. I remember so-and-so did that for me. And some lives are just changed really forever and ever and ever. So share with me anything that you have. I feel like I'm talking too much. But I just wanted to make sure you knew that's where my heart was, and I've always said to you, I wouldn't be a Power Woman, would have never existed without you, and neither would HomWork ever exist without you.
Yeah.
So.
Desiree, it was a moment in time since I participated in that. I was in the corporate world. It would help me see a whole different view of things. But since then, I've been involved in a ton of networking and all over the country and that kind of stuff. But that was an absolute moment in time because there was, Marianne Williamson came to our meetings. We had all these people that, are so influential. And it was such a level playing field. Somebody who wasn't an entrepreneur like me, could sidle up against, the gal who did the organic dry cleaning and termite control. And the number of people and the opportunities, and it was so new and fresh. It was, I credit you as being sort of the grande dame of this genre, at least in this area. I haven't really encountered anything that's quite like the Second Sundays.
Wow, you make me want to do another Second Sunday.
I was going to ask you about that. Is that totally merged with HomWork now, or is Empowered Women still live on?
No, we're merging it with HomWork right now because it's a company that we're actually building to be acquired, and our goal is 3 to 5 years. So we're doing it. we're just utilizing required luxury style homes, and we designed the bedrooms to be live work suites. So women can live here full-time, part-time, or as a drop-in. And then we also have workspaces like a working office. We have a studio that has a green screen for podcasts and videos. And we have a large classroom upstairs where we do our classroom retreats. People use it for retreats, for seminars, as well as it breaks down to a yoga studio or dance hall if you need it to be so. So our goal now is like an Airbnb meets WeWork for women professionals and entrepreneurs. And then we also host other people's properties. We're redoing our website now, which is on this list of things that we need to do, and where we will represent your property. We actually have a marketing platform for women who want to have a guest house, guest room, or vacation rental, not want it out there in a world wide web like Airbnb or VRBO, where they have no control of who stays in their home. So they love the idea that it's just presented and marketed to women professionals and entrepreneurs. They look forward to, like who's going to come in, and then we also do like videos so they know what they do, and whether they have a pet or they're into yoga or this and that. So it's a real warm and fuzzy, like and trust factor that's established for the host properties. And then it's a membership base still, because I still love doing events. So it's still a membership base where we have events, and we have like an event where the members, we have coffee and conversations we've been doing on Wednesday mornings, a really, really great event where we have a conversation with one of our members, and she shares what she does. Like yesterday was how to maintain, or how your reputation, your online reputation, whatever it was. So they give you a chance to communicate, give you a chance to promote yourself, but it's done in a conversation, informative type style. So we do that, and we do the live events, and we do the podcasts and the videos, and still about promoting women professionals and entrepreneurs. But now that we have so many more tools to do it with, and the world is our, it's easily accessed, then that's what we're using all these different things to do that with, and so forth. So the second Sundays, what we were planning to do with the second Sundays is that as a couple of the first houses that were hosted, one of them was in Woodland Hills. I don't know if you ladies remember Elisa. We do an open house on the second Sunday. She would open up her house, and she had 2 rooms that she was renting through HomWork. And she's a sculptor. She's a sculptress and psychiatrist. So she would call this Sculpturing Your Life. So the ladies went there, they had lunch. She showed them the rooms, the house that was available. And they went to her studio, and they made little sculptures, and little beautiful sculptures of women in her studio. And then we have another one in Sherman Oaks who actually does, she has games, she does cards, poker games. So she had an event, and people came to see their house, but they also saw her business, and they had played poker and that was her thing for that night. So we were trying to do that when we get it all organized on second Sundays. So it's not just a boss, it'll be different people will be able to host it at their homes or their businesses, and that way we can keep that going, but it'll be all over, all over.
Oh,
So,
good, because it was such a, as you were saying, Bobbie, it's such a beautiful energy. It's nice to know that you'll continue that energy of meeting, once in a while. So it's beautiful.
That'd be nice.
So thanks.
That'd be nice. Who else has something to share? Well, like Brenda, you've been quiet. Maya, you've been quiet.
I think the power of 7, you should restructure that, because I think now that young and old are like at homes and just working from home and all this, that's the best program I went to so many programs, and everyone has its own power, but the power of 7, it was amazing until now. I talk about it all the time. I encourage people to do some things from that I learned. And you know what? The other thing is, it should be okay, they are all afraid from the second wave of Corona, because now next week they are opening back slowly, everything. So they're all scared from the second wave of the Corona in the winter. So that's why I think the power of 7 will be amazing. Like somebody today just now mentioned that she needs to learn more how to have her own Zoom. A lot of people, they want to do that. So the power of 7, you should promote that. And I'm willing to help you with that. So I love it.
I'm going to do a virtual one. One virtually, a live one virtually, and then I'm going to record it and utilize it as that online. I also want to mention that Patty is going to be on May the 15th. Is it Patty? She's going to be our Let's Talk Success speaker. And do you want to just give them one line? I mean, about her business that she sold. I mean, it's an amazing story. And if you actually go to our website, you'll be able to see, because I have her story. She did a whole story at her home, her beautiful home in Rancho in Santa Barbara. But tell them what they're in tune for, because she has an amazing story, just briefly.
Well, I will answer any questions anybody has, but I just want to do a little informal survey. Maybe I could see by a show of hands. I'm finding that none of my clients that bank with Wells Fargo, B of A, or Chase have received any grant money yet, or any loan money yet, or some of them have been approvals and told that they're in the queue, but now they're waiting. But people have gotten thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars from Health and Human Services and from small community banks that they had a relationship with. So I'm just, by a show of hands, do any of you know anyone who banks at Wells, B of A, or Chase who's received any CARES Act money yet?
A little bit.
By Wells, B of A, or
Chase. But there's a big, did you see the class action suits that are happening, that they're being accused? Did you see what they're being accused of? What happened?
Well, isn't it interesting? There's a class action suit about everything. Well, yesterday I think I heard that they were that they discriminated against women business owners, and that they have also been discriminating against small business owners.
Yeah, they were stacking the loan. Initially, the larger loans were getting funded. It was supposed to be first come, first serve. So we haven't done the bigger PPP yet. We haven't gotten any of that. We just got the smaller amount, but that we were hearing from the larger businesses that they were getting money, and many of our small, under a few million, many of them have not received anything. So
The same is happening here in Michigan area. We found out that the banks were only lending to those that already had banking relationships. So if you already had loans with them, they will give you money. If you were a newcomer, you don't have a lending history with them, they were turning people away. And one of the bankers said the reason was because when it first rolled out, they thought they were just more or less going to be doing some of the funding, but they have to do more of the legwork. And it's just more like the SBA had very little to do with it. So they became very concerned, and they only lend to those who they already been lending with, they already had a history. We didn't see anything in the small business here in Detroit, and our mayor and Goldman Sachs actually just partnered this past Friday, a week ago, and they, I think they put another 15 million or something together to make sure some small businesses here in Detroit definitely had access. I'm in the application process right now. I have received some smaller grants, but I've not received any of even when I applied for the small business, the economic disaster injury, nothing. I got my number that I was in the queue, but no information whatsoever.
I want to share one other thing. One of my clients is in the business of providing physicians to hospitals. They got an $85,000 grant from Health and Human Services. That is not, it was a grant, not a loan. So that was really wonderful. Here's some good news that I heard about. Two people that I heard of got money by applying through PayPal, because they were set up to help the small businesses. So that was kind of interesting. And in all cases of clients that did get money, it was and a previously established relationship with a banker, which is essential. As a business coach, I teach people how to build strategic depth in their organization, so it's less dependent upon you to drive everything, and your systems and your people can keep moving the business forward. And the other thing we teach is how to really carefully scrutinize how you use your time, and not getting mistaken for things that are urgent but might not be so important, and just not understanding that being busier is not better. Being busier is actually worse. And anytime somebody says, oh, I'm just slammed, I'm just so busy, what goes through my mind in the back of my head is that poor amateur.
Whoa.
Hello from Patina Farm. As we explain in our book, Patina Farm,
Someone's talking, yes? Is that you, Lila? Who was talking? Someone was just talking?
Yes, a background noise,
Oh,
maybe.
I just posted, if anyone's interested, what I was really, because I'm always following money. I love the idea of circulating money into its highest and best use. And what I'm most impressed are the corporations that have stepped up and they're partnering with small businesses, either through grants or sponsors or loans. And there's a lot of, I'm finding that the states have websites where the corporations are, putting their resources. So if you can connect to your state sites, but I just put up one simple one that was reported in philanthropy.com. And if that inspires you or supports you in partnering up. Desiree, that was one of the things I was thinking about you. There were a couple of opportunities I was thinking, oh, this would be great for Desiree with what you're doing. And there were some corporate opportunities. I have to go back to my notes. I forgot who it was with. But we're all in this together, and there's so much collaboration going on. And I'm finding that, the companies are stepping in with their resources to see who they can partner with and benefit and support. But there is a lot of money circulating around there, and so I just wanted to share that.
Patty, are you still Patty? Patty, are you still with David Maui? What's it call it? Mastermind Maui.
Yes, Maui Mastermind has been a client of mine for 7 years.
Okay, I love them, by the way. I love them.
Good,
and
good.
now I remember I was in your house with Desiree at that time.
Yes, well, I changed houses. I don't think, were you at the house, this house with the background? That's my front yard that's in my background.
Yeah,
So,
I think I was there at
oh, you were?
Montecito. It was in Montecito?
In Montecito. Oh, okay. No, this is, I live now in Solvang. So in 2016,
okay.
I moved a little
Because
further
you
north.
had a nice, I don't remember exactly the backyard, but you had the swimming pool also, I think. Did you have?
Yeah. No, I've been blessed. I had some really nice houses over the years. 20 years in Montecito.
Okay,
and,
so Desiree, we have to have another event in Solvang.
I want to add something too about the money. I know that in California, and they're just introducing it here in Arizona, that for small business, independent contractors, and independent consultants, they are opening up the unemployment as an option if you're not getting through to the PPP.
Yes.
That the unemployment, they are putting up a special site for unemployment for
Can you
small
speak
business.
up?
They're putting up in California and in Arizona, if you are a small business, like a real estate agent or a coach or a consultant, the 1099 workers that did not qualify for unemployment, they're putting up special sites so that you can qualify for that. You will get the state's allotment, and then there's an additional $600 that's coming from the federal government in the next care package. So look at if you haven't been able to participate in the PPP, look at your state unemployment website to see what they're offering.
Yeah, that's here in Michigan. I actually applied. I think we had to wait until all the employees applied during March, and then on April 13th, they opened up for any independent worker 1099s. And so I applied, and of course you won't get the state more than likely because you haven't paid into it unless you had a W-2 yourself. But they give you the baseline. You have to have a baseline from the state in order for the federal to give you something. So I think they give out like $100 from the state.
Right.
And then you get the $600, at least ties over, giving you something until some of these other avenues, open up. And Verizon had opened their doors for a moment. They were giving away grants, $10,000. I think they gave away $250,000 grants. They had some 55,000 applicants, I think it stated. So I didn't receive anything from that, but one of my colleagues did. But our city and our county, check your economic growth corporation. They've been giving out a lot of money here in Detroit. That's where I got the grant. They're finding the grant dollars for you. And like I said, our city has actually been very helpful. Like I said, they bought the partnership with Goldman Sachs to bring another round of funds, especially after they announced all the big businesses had absorbed the money from the SBA. So and the PPP programs.
Interesting. So as
The pandemic unemployment assistance program.
Right, PUA.
Yeah, that started, so for California, that was April 28th. You could start applying for the PUA,
yesterday,
right?
or the day before yesterday. Yeah.
Do you know anyone that's got any money from it, Carol?
Not from the PUA yet. It just started the other day.
But some of the other programs, have they got money from there?
I've gotten money from the SBA.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I
Right.
got it
Applied
yesterday. Huh?
You applied right away?
Yeah. It took about a month for the application to process and come through.
Good.
What bank did you get your?
Can't hear you.
What bank did you get your PPP through? What bank?
California.
Bank, California? Oh, is it credit union?
Here's the link. Put it in the chat.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay. I applied at Wells Fargo and then 2 small brokerage banks, Lendistry.com and Cabbage. And I think Lendistry is going to make it happen. Wells Fargo they first couldn't even tackle it. And then now I think they're processing, but I don't have much hope for that. But I think Lendistry.com is going to work out. So
Wow.
we'll see.
So what big plans after the pandemic, what big plans do you have, Brenda? What are you going to do? What are you going to take forward? Or is everything going to remain the same?
Well, what I'm working on right now is I'm working with a lot of millennials and college students because, you know, their understanding of what it takes to make it in this world is just non-existent. And so I'm working with them on developing that resilience that they need to move forward and not wait till everything is over, but to get started now and putting your plans and processes and procedures in place so that when things do open up, you're already ready to hit the ground running. And so I have an interview on Saturday for a podcast that is just dealing with like 50 millennials that have just graduated from college, had started their jobs, or had internships lined up that have just vanished. And so how are we going to move forward past this is what I'm going to be working with them on.
Fantastic. Awesome. Okay, Maria, Simone, what are you taking through after this? What are you going to do first? Or
So
next?
we've been actively building, Zen Moose Capital is my company, and we were building a fund, and we had a bunch of entertainment projects. So interestingly enough, as soon as that happened, we were getting ready to film a movie in Italy and some other things. So all that got shut down. But a couple of extraordinary things happened. We realized we had some virtual technologies and streaming platforms and all this virtual stuff that we were going to develop next year, and everything just got moved to the forefront. So we're focusing on what's, you know, relevant, like what's emerging right now. We're just paying attention to that. So all our, you know, virtual and streaming technology, so all that's being developed. And the other thing was, it's a really large fund. It's hundreds of millions of dollars. And the investors, some investors we noticed, you know, really were more in a cash crunch now because they're trying to support the projects they're investing in. But a lot of the more impact investors, the people, the money that some of the wealthy individuals that are more interested in humanity and consciousness and transformation on the planet, all of a sudden they've stepped in and they want to see these projects out there. So it's really, it's been amazing to see, you know, who's showing up and what's emerging. So we're working behind the scenes on that. But I'm just really, I want to support people getting into action now. You know, I think the people that sit and wait and see what happens are really going to be left behind. We're in such a time of collaboration, and everyone's just kind of pitching in and helping each other. And so this is really a good time to get to work and, you know, take care of yourself, of course, and do your purging and your cleaning. But really, this is a good time to get out there and collaborate and build some new things. So immediately I'm focusing on helping people access the money that I told you about. That I have a partnership with a network of 200 lenders. And so they lend up to 400,000. It's like interest rates are like 8 to 12%, and they're like 5-year loans. And so I'm just helping people get those who want to start new businesses, buy existing cash flowing businesses, buy real estate. Like people want to recreate their income right now. And so we're supporting them in doing that. So that's kind of it. I'm going to get back to, working on Zen Moose Capital. That's my love. That's like our bank for transformation. I can't think of not doing that right now. That's my dream. And then in the interim, focusing on helping people get funding. That's very urgent right now. So
awesome. What about you, Lila?
I think I'm jumping more into, obviously the virtual world and pushing my technology. I'm connecting with a lot of my clients online, and because we're looking to move properties in different ways. And all the new regulations and liabilities, I'm usually just setting up my photographer and videographer and drone and 3D virtuals, and then looking to target international markets, and there's all kinds of growth opportunities coming up. And, with every market, there's changing. There's going to be different buyers and sellers and investors that come out of the woodworks in different markets, right? So I've been through 3 of the short sale foreclosure markets, unfortunately, and it's pretty tough on families. And I'm really honestly hoping and praying that we don't see that. But I'm kind of prepared for either direction, and just kind of getting in line with investors, international, and then getting back into my commercial focus, which I was really busy with residential for so many years in my team. Now I have a lot of time to spend on my commercial focus. I've done a little bit, like I said, in the past, the triple net shopping centers and apartment complexes and things. So I'm kind of getting back into that commercial realm.
Awesome. And Maya, what are you taking from this after this wonderful journey that we're going?
You know what? I agree with Brenda actually, because that's the millennials is like they are just back into normal, and they will travel. They always will travel. With me, I told you, I'm going to put more things from the Power of 7 into action, which is the podcast, like she said. And it's all good. And you know what? I agree with Maria. This is the best time that we're all coming together, and we are together powerful. Nothing can stop us. And that's what the human connection is amazing. It's amazing. The way that we are even connecting through Zoom, that's beautiful. And I'm very optimistic, actually, very. And I love you girls. You are so cute.
Maya, I just have to say, ever since you said we're going to eat our way through Bible land or something. I mean, I have like
Wine
this
and dine
image
in the promised land.
Anthony Bourdain.
Dine and wine, the Bible land. You know what? It's so interesting. Somebody asked me today, there is wines in Israel, wineries in Israel. There is over 400 wineries in the small country.
Wow.
Well, that's a reality show. You're going to eat and drink your way through Bible land. I totally see that as a reality show.
Maybe one day I'll take you all with me. I'll show you that, like, you will have personal guide plus the regular guide. And
what about you, Bobbie?
Well, this has been an interesting time, and I've been reaching out and being reached out to quite a bit. So the collaborations that are developing and the conversations and the, it's collaboration. So going forward, I want to do a lot more of what I'm doing right now, which is motivating and inspiring people to feel good about themselves. And, and helping them to get there, because that seems to be my gift. So I'm going to keep walking that path and see where it takes me. I understand a bit about my human design now, so I need to wait for invitations. So anybody who wants to invite me, I won't press you, but I will accept invitations.
Bobbie, do you still doing the stylist?
Yes. Yes.
You know what? You should do, okay. One of my friends, she's doing Zoom and people order like she does like things, talk about every piece, and send it, and she tells them, they buy it, and then she tells them it's free. You have 1 week to return it if you don't like it. And she sells through Amazon, and she's selling a lot of clothes.
Yeah, well, when we connect, you'll tell me about her, because I'd like to see it, because inventory and resources are getting slimmer and slimmer. And Neiman Marcus, sorry guys, just filed for bankruptcy, and some of the private lines, Worth and those kind of things, they're gone. I mean, it's just like they're gone.
Wow. Okay. Well, Kimberly, what are you gonna do?
Well, I always laugh because I tell everyone I haven't had a chance to stop. I haven't. I was working on a 1924 rehab and remodel. We were so close to the finish line that we kind of bent the rules a little bit. So I haven't had a chance to stop. This coming week will be my first stop. I had most of my inspections this week. So I'm looking forward to kind of going into an online platform with the, like I said, the fashion show for Mother's Day. I know a lot of moms have been at home. A stay-at-home mom is not their forte after being a part of the working force. So I think it's going to be fun to invite some of the moms to be a part of this little fashion show to, feel good about themselves, separate from being a mom. And we're going to do our virtual Real Women Like Us, Redefining Our Beauty online fashion show around the Mother's Day. In addition to that, I'm working on an online course. We've been home, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're ready to get out of home." So it reminds me of my very first program that I taught in one of my speaks is Welcome Home to Your Heart, 9 keys to welcome yourself home to your heart. So I think that's going to help people connect to who they are as a person before they go out into the world. I feel like I'm somebody with that facade, but make sure the authentic person shows up during this time of cocooning and immerse yourself. So rebuild, rebirth, and, revitalize who you are.
Fantastic. And what about you, Carol? Like my co-host?
Not much is going to change. I'm continuing to do what I'm doing, and I've been doing online programs and talking to people online most of the time. So not much is going to shift for me.
Okay. And what about you, Patty? Who's going to be with us? Make sure you mark your calendars for May the 15th at 5 p.m. She's our Let's Talk Success. And she has an amazing story, and she's going to share. But meanwhile.
Did you say it was going to be a Friday series? It's going to be more than one?
Every Friday. For this month, it's every Friday.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much for the update on the philanthropies. That was a really interesting article. I was taking a look at it. I don't think my life is going to change much post-COVID. However, I'm okay being on lockdown here. I play pickleball, and I have one 82-year-old friend who's come every single Monday, and she and I played pickleball every day for the past 7 months, except for when it was raining twice, I think. And then I have other younger friends, 40s, 50s, and 60s. They're like staying home, so they don't want to get near our pickleball playing. But the business, it just reinforces who's going to go out, who's going to get acquired, who's going to have to file bankruptcy. Is those companies that did not develop any depth, they didn't develop their teams or systems, and that don't have goodwill with their people. They say misery loves company, but I know that miserable bosses do not attract good people. So it just reinforces the resolve that I have to help companies build systems which help drive the business forward. Make sure each of those key roles that you have, whether it be one assistant or 100 employees, that you have the very best people that you can possibly afford, and that you've taken time to refine their roles, their responsibilities, that they're clear on what their goals are, and that you drop the folks who just can't, get with your program or don't share your business values. So that's what I just have to say. It's every day is a gift, and I feel very blessed to have you, Desiree, as friend, and to be able to get to know you ladies a little bit better. And that's I think what I'm going to do. Maybe move sooner to the 2 days a week instead of 3 days a week. By the way, I'll probably make more money working 2 days than I do working 3 right now. So
they always say that there's a magic formula, because what you'll do is you'll have to charge more, with to the less that you have, and either make the same amount if not more. So
that's right.
So you got to tell us what pickleball is for some of us who've never heard of pickleball.
In Detroit,
you don't know what pickleball is? Oh my gosh!
Never heard of pickleball. I'm like, I was Googling it and it just showed like these paddles or something, but it doesn't show how the game is played.
Yeah, pickleball is tennis for old people.
Oh, okay.
Well, what's the difference? Tell them what the difference is. We've played it. It's not for only old people. Tell them the difference.
Well, pickleball is played on a modified tennis court or something that looks like a tennis court, only it's about a third the size. You play with a paddle and a wiffle ball instead of a tennis ball and tennis racket. And you also have a chance to run around, and it's mostly about laughing and giggling. You usually play doubles. And so, yep, it's really fun. Okay. Next time I'll try to have a pickleball game playing in my background.
No, we all got to come up there. We can all play a game in your background.
It's really fun. It really is fun. It's you can any skill level. I mean, we taught our 16-year-old grandson how to play in about 15 minutes. Then we played with him, and then we took him to the rec center where the real pickleball players, and nobody knew that he wasn't already a really excellent player. And as I said, my 82-year-old friend learned it, especially if you've ever played tennis before. That really helps. But I wasn't a big tennis player, and I learned it, and I'm the fun person who teaches my neighbors and friends how to play it.
Okay.
Awesome.
I had to look for a video.
I've had Ginger here. She's supposed to have been like interacting and everything with us, but she's been over there doing something else.
I was working. It was my first opportunity away from the kids to work, and you guys, I was listening.
You were listening.
People are doing amazing things all over the country.
Well, tell them. Okay, I'm gonna let you tell them what you have got going in the studio. She uses the recording studio that we have here, and let's briefly tell them what to.
Yeah. So I am a podcast hostess. I host a nighty-night bedtime podcast. As it's very fantastical. I do it in character as the fantastical Olivia Lay. Olivia lives on a mountain full of gorgeous women like yourself who, live off the land and just are. They exist. And the podcast is, we pillow talk a little bit, we stretch and meditate. It's called the Sexy Pillows Podcast, and it's a lot of fun. Been doing it about 2 years now. We've been having really great numbers during quarantine because our listeners they can't sleep. A lot of them may suffer from anxiety or loneliness or depression, and we've got a lot of that going on. I'm feeling it, other people are feeling it, at least in waves, right? We have moments. Today was a pretty big day for me because the podcast has been completely oral, like only ears. There's been no visuals attached to it, like no visuals of me. And today I was on a big Instagram live show so far there's already been 40,000 views, and I went in costume with a long red wig and flower crown and got my room all dressed up with flowers and just talked about what I do. So I came out visually today, so that was exciting.
Because she works under I guess again the studio of Olivia Lay. So it's called a Sexy Podcast, and people think that it's mostly for men, but you said most of your listeners are women that can't sleep.
Well, 35%.
Okay, that's a large
65% are men, but
okay. All right, and what they do is she does meditation and she does yoga movements and stretching, and that's basically what it is. But the funny thing is that just for, like you did at the Christmas celebration, kind of do a turnaround. And, okay, so everyone has these personalities. That'd be a good way to close it. So just kind of turn around for a moment, then come back as Olivia Lay and give them a taste on your sexy podcast.
If everyone would like to close their eyes, I'll do a minute of the Sexy Pillows podcast.
Okay, close your eyes.
You close your eyes and I'll
Okay.
let you.
Close your eyes.
Good evening, darling. I am so happy to be with you here right now on this HomWorks reunion call. It's a pleasure to see all of your beautiful faces. Of course, I am Olivia, and this is the Sexy Pillows podcast. Every night, I want to butter you up, tuck you tightly into bed, and send you sailing off into dreamland. If you do want to stretch a little bit and just get your body moving a little bit after sitting, you can listen to the calls, stretch where your body wants you to stretch in your arms and your feet. Breathe in. Let's all take a deep breath together, because breath refreshes us more than anything else. If you would breathe with me, take a deep breath in and a breath out. And thank you for joining me on this little mini podcast. And I hear there might be a dancing send-off. So you're welcome to open your eyes.
That was a short one. She does something that's like, it's like really, really, yeah.
There's music, there's a lot of nice stuff. If you're interested, the Sexy Pillows podcast.
It's a free podcast. And she has people from all over the world.
You have a link you can put in there so we can follow you?
Yes. So why don't you lead us into, I want to thank everyone, and I thank you. And I'm more welcome to hang out as long as you want to hang out, but I know some of you, have, I don't know what else you need to be doing it. But I have other things to do, so I want to thank you. But I do want to just leave us with a really, it'll be perfect for you to lead us into this really, since my really great song. So hold on one second. So meanwhile, what are you thinking? Which one is this?
Say the name of your, there's nothing, I'm looking and I can't find it.
Sexy, you just go to sexypillows.com. Sexy Pillows.
Sexy Pillows.
Sexy Pillows.
Yeah. Isn't it so interesting now? We're on their computers looking it up already. She was looking up pickleball. She's looking up this. She's looking at that. So you don't even know. You can say something and that's what people are doing with you. That's why I say that for you, you need to have those podcasts and those videos and those articles published, because as you're talking to people, they're Googling you and your name and so forth, and they want to see if they find you, then that's a good thing. You know, to be able to find you and find your assets. So this is one of my favorite. Let's see if I can get it loud enough. I really
Nice meeting you all. I have to go because I have another conference call. Thank you.
See you guys. Good night.
Good night, Juju. Thank you very much.
You hear the music? Can you hear it?
A little bit, yeah.
And I might say, hey, but you shouldn't worry about what they say, because they got nothing on you.
You don't know this song? Can you hear this song at all?
Yeah.
Come on. I got nothing on you. Come on.
Or turn on your own beat. I don't know.
Come on, Lila. I know you got movement in you. Come on, there you go. There she goes. There we go. Bobbie, you're not dancing anymore? Come on, Carol. Carol's our co-host. You guys celebrate. Oh, there you go. There you go. Come on, Carol. We just need to release. I can't wait to start dancing again and get out.
I know. I'm going to say good night, ladies.
Yeah.
Good night. Nice meeting everybody.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Wonderful meeting you all.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry too.
Bye-bye.
I've been eating. Bye, everybody. This is sweet. Talk to you during the week, Carol.
Love you all. Let's stay in touch. Carol, go on, Carol. You know you want to break out, Carol. Come on, Carol.
Stretch your body, Carol.
She's got a beat. Look at your beat, you guys. She said nodding, you nod your head.
I love your background, Carol. This is the best Zoom background I've seen yet.
Do you see what it looks like? Yes? Are you able to see what it looks like?
Yeah.
Oh yeah? That's funny. But so I wonder if you do need a well, we have it says, if it says, oh, I'm trying to say, if it says, I love that song. Every time I hear that song, I was like, oh.
You need Carol.
Carol. No, so I guess the back
recording.
Yeah.
I can stop it.
Okay.